I'm 4 months pregnant. The child isn't my husband's child. I don't intend to hide anything from him. I don't think there's anything worth hiding about it. We agreed back then that we should keep our own lives separate after getting married. No one should care about anyone else. But now he knows about it. They forced me to have an abortion. Otherwise, we'll get a divorce. I said that this child will take his surname. He isn't suffering any losses at all. But he scolded me for being shameless. My name is 𝓀𝓪𝓻𝓭𝓻𝓸𝓫𝓮, 32 years old this year. My husband's name is 𝔀𝓪𝓻𝓭𝓻𝓸𝓫𝓮. I am 5 years older than him, running one's own business. There are 8 months in a year when we are out and about. We have been married for 3 years. The total time we spent meeting each other was less than 6 months. The day of the wedding, he made his points clear. When he was young, he was determined to make it in life. Hurt by my fiancé. I've seen too many cases where people meet frequently but then part ways soon after. The couple ended up in a complete chaos and mess, rather than torment each other. It's better to talk things out. Each person lives their own life after marriage. No interference with each other. He said he couldn't provide me with daily companionship. I also don't want to be tied to someone and become their. I think it's pretty good. I'm not naturally inclined to be clingy people. I had several relationships when I was in my 20s. It was because the boyfriend thought I was too independent, so we broke up. Ajay has good conditions, have a house and a car. It's not really my style of stuff at all. But the real advantage lies in the reality of it. Speak with authority. We have signed a prenuptial agreement. We organized a proper wedding ceremony. When he offered me a drink, his cup bumped into mine. There's still a bit of fatigue in the corners of my eyes. Smiling as they said goodbye, expressing that they enjoyed working together. I also smiled in response, saying that we had a great collaboration. Life after marriage is actually more free than I thought it would be. He reserved the second bedroom for me, turning it into a closet space. The balcony is filled with succulent plants. I invited friends over on the weekend to eat hot pot at my home. He occasionally sends a message via WeChat to ask something. Is everything okay at home? I said good, and he replied with an HM. Then it disappears for 3 to 5 days. Half a year has passed. I started to feel bored. It's not that there's no one to take care of it. It's just that the situation is boring. It's a boring situation where no one talks at all. I resigned from my job and now work as a self-media creator at home. Every day I spend time editing videos in front of the computer. Eating takeout to the point of nausea. I can't even find anyone who wants to eat together with me. I tried to have a video call with him. He received the item with a light placed at the head of the hotel room. The sound is completely exhausted. It can't be made anymore. It ended within just 1 minute. That was the time. I walked closer to my best friend, Avi. Away is a classmate of mine from college. We have known each other for almost 10 years now. He opened a tattoo shop. We really get along well together. Anything can be said. He looks clean and tidy. Speak gently. Many girls liked him during college times. But he has always been single. When asked, it was said that no suitable candidate was found. After getting married, I became much closer with Wei. Ajay isn't at home. I can't sleep at night, so I go and talk to him. He always responds within seconds. When I'm not happy, I go to him. There's an old sofa in his store. I lay there, watching him get tattoos done. 1 way equals an entire afternoon. He will prepare coffee for me. I want milk, not sugar. I also remember all my little habits. Once, Ajay agreed to go with me to see a dentist. As a result, it was forgotten. I picked it up. He said just 1 sentence. Don't you want to go there by yourself? I hung up the phone. I feel really aggrieved. Driving towards Avi. He noticed that my expression wasn't good. I didn't ask any questions. Instead, they immediately took me to have my nails done. They asked me to eat grilled meat again. On the way back, The car has my favorite song playing in the background. I watched as the streetlights faded away, one by one, as I sat by the car window. Suddenly, I feel that this person seems to understand me better than Ajay does. When did we cross the boundary? It was probably last winter. It snowed a lot that day. Ajay can't come back from other places. I was sitting at home alone, drinking in silence. I can't explain why I feel so down. Maybe it's because the footage was cut during the day, and the clients repeatedly rejected it. Perhaps suddenly one feels that a 150 square meter house is quite spacious. The wine was the plum wine that Away brought last time. Sweet. I didn't even realize that I had drunk most of the entire bottle. When I feel dizzy, I posted a message in the moments section. The more a person drinks, the colder they become. Away will arrive in 10 minutes. He was wearing that old cotton coat. The hat is covered in snow. I'm holding 2 boxes of delicious dishes to enjoy with alcohol.
He saw me sitting against the sofa.
Red-faced. Put down the things and come over here. I reached out and touched my forehead. They pinched my cheeks again. He frowned and asked me how much I had drunk. That movement was quite natural. It seems like nothing is wrong at all. He took the cup from my hands. I went to the kitchen and made a bowl of drink to help sober up. Help me sit down on the sofa. Feed me, spoon by spoon. The lighting is very warm. His eyelashes still had traces of unshaven snow on them. I kept looking at it. Something in my heart has loosened up. He stayed behind to take care of me that night. Later, 𝓀𝓪𝓻𝓭𝓻𝓸𝓫𝓮. We sat on the sofa, watching movies together. Whoever approached first, let's call them the one who... Everything happened in a very quiet manner. Afterwards, I asked him about it. Are you afraid? She said she's afraid of nothing. Don't you play with your husband separately? I was stunned for a moment. Then they laughed. Each plays for themselves. Since then, we're no longer just friends. He will come to my house. We cooked together, watched movies together, and did nail art together. He really will accompany me in choosing the colors together. Ajay comes back occasionally. Away has left already.
It works together seamlessly.
Ajay never asked about my situation at all. I also never asked him if there was anyone outside. This balance is maintained quite well. It's so good that I even feel that. That's what marriage should look like. In March this year, I found out that I'm pregnant. Let's calculate the time. It must be a ways. Ajay came back during those days of the new year. We didn't even have any sexual intercourse at all. 2 lines on the pregnancy test stick. My first thought wasn't fear, but joy. I've always wanted to have a child. I really like children. Ajay said that he didn't want to be a father at all. Let's wait for a few years before talking about it again. But now the child has arrived. I told Avi about it. He remained silent for a long time before asking whether I wanted to have children. I said that if he wants to do it, then let's do it. He doesn't mind being the father of children. Anyway, that's just the way we are. I was so moved that I couldn't speak at all. I think Avi is really great. He even said that he could spend more time with me in the future. I would like to help take care of the children for me. This is not even 100 times better than Ajay, who never leaves home throughout the year. There's no difference between having a child and not having a father at all. Although Away doesn't have any money, but he has the time and patience necessary. He will be a great father. The more I think about it, the more I think this arrangement is perfect. But I can't let Avi work hard in vain. It's also necessary to leave a way out for both of us. I know how to do business, Ajay, with a high level of caution. Both the company's main account and the personal main account have dual verification processes. I can't even touch it at all. But I have one card that he has bound to his account. This is a card used for emergency purposes in everyday life within families. The password is my birthday. It's used for paying utility bills and buying groceries and daily necessities on a regular basis. In order to get that amount of money together, it took me 2 months to do this. under the pretext of purchasing major luxury items as part of the house renovation work. One after another, the money has been transferred into 𝓀𝓬's account. Half of it is considered as a reward for 𝓀𝓬's hard work. I think of the other half as a gift. The first amount of money that the child saved for milk powder. Anyway, this money is already owned by 𝓀𝓬. I can use it anywhere I want. I give it to my child in a reasonable manner. I'm always nervous every time I make a transfer. I'm afraid of receiving reminder messages from the bank. But 𝓀𝓬 never pays attention to those trivial bills at all. I don't think this amount of money is anything significant for him at all. I really didn't intend to hide anything from 𝓀𝓬. He returned from his business trip last month. We ate together tonight. I see that he seems to be in a good mood. Just say it clearly. I'm pregnant. He paused for a moment while using his chopsticks. Then they laughed. That was the time that I met him, over the past 3 years. It was a very important time for me. A rare smile of genuine happiness. I want to know if it's true or not. When did that happen? I said it's been almost 4 months already. He laughed even more. I reached out and gently touched my stomach. Even the tips of my fingers are a bit hot. Then he suddenly remembered everything. The way he looked up at me changed instantly. It hasn't been that long since the year before last. I stayed at home for 3 days. I haven't touched you at all. The air suddenly became quiet. I watched him speak in a calm manner. Children aren't yours. 𝓀𝓬's expression. I will never forget this moment in my life. Changing from red to white. Changing from white to blue. In the end, his entire face turned purple-blue. He suddenly stood up. Even the chair was turned over too, creaking to get me to say it again. I'm repeating the agreement we made back then, where each of us kept playing our own games. I think there must be someone else outside him. I never asked about it at all. He shouldn't interfere with me at all. He stared at me intently. For a full half-minute, finally I asked who that person was. I said it was 𝓀𝓬. It's the friend of mine that he has seen before. 𝓀𝓬 laughed at that moment. That laugh was even more terrifying than the moment of anger. He took a deep breath. The sound level is extremely low. Only 2 words were typed. I said it's impossible. I want to be born now. He couldn't believe that I actually said such things. I wonder if I'm going mad. Having a child with someone else, and still wanting to give birth to that child. I explained it to him. The child will take his surname. He isn't suffering any losses at all. He doesn't want to have children. I ask others to give birth to it. What's the problem with this? Wasn't the original agreement simply based on each party's own rules? I achieved the desired results through my efforts. He should respect me. 𝓀𝓬 smashed the cups on the table onto the ground. 𝓀𝓨, do you have a disease? Each plays their own role. It's not something that you should try to create or produce. He roared, and everyone around him trembled with fear. I told him to calm down. Tell him that I have already given a sum of money to 𝓀𝓬. He will not bother us anymore. After the child was born, they called me Mom. Call him Daddy. He didn't even need to do anything at all. He became a father in just 1 moment. What a wonderful thing. 𝓀𝓬 looked at me. It's like looking at a stranger. I guess his anger isn't entirely due to feelings of betrayal. Most of the grievances stem from the betrayal by partners themselves. He thought I would be able to stay within limits. I never expected that I could completely push him over his boundaries. Finally, he said something. You don't want to abort this baby, right? Then we get divorced. You choose. I still feel aggrieved. It seems like his vision is too limited. Is blood relationship really that important? He didn't say anything anymore. I'll leave now. The following week, he moved into a hotel. They sent me a legal notice. I've hired a lawyer. The lawyer had a very subtle expression after listening to the words. He listed a few points for me. After getting married, each of us keeps doing our own things. The agreement has no legal validity at all, even against common moral standards. It is an invalid agreement. Second, I am currently 4 months pregnant. Legal provisions regarding pregnancy for women. In principle, the husband cannot file a lawsuit for divorce. But if the child is not the son of the husband, the groom can use this as a reason to file a lawsuit. The third amount that I transferred to 𝓀𝓪, whether it's regarding the joint property of the couple or the personal property of 𝓀𝓪 before marriage, both are considered acts of donation. 𝓀𝓪 can claim that the gift is invalid. We require 𝓀𝓪 to fully refund the amount. If 𝓀𝓪 has already spent time on it, 𝓀𝓪 can sue both of us. After hearing all this, I don't feel well at all. I'm not afraid of getting divorced, to be honest. 𝓀𝓪 is a person who values money above all else. I can't give you anything at all, but I can't be satisfied like this. I don't think I did anything wrong. It was agreed upon by us at the beginning. He said that things would change right away. How does he do it? There's someone out there with him. Have I ever been in charge of that? He had dinner with the female client late at night. Have I checked already? He gave me freedom. I also gave him freedom. Now, I simply mean this freedom. It was used in the context of having a child. He can't handle it anymore. I went to find 𝓀𝓪. I want him to go with me and talk to 𝓀𝓪. As a result, 𝓀𝓪's attitude also changed.
He said he didn't expect things to get this serious.
I'm afraid that when 𝓀𝓪 gets angry, he might try to find someone to hurt. I said that you already accepted the money. Now, speaking in this way, but he said that it was I who gave it to him. It wasn't he who asked for it. I forced him to explain what he meant. He hesitated for a long time before speaking. 𝓀𝓪's lawyer has already contacted him. They advised me to follow 𝓀𝓪's advice and have the baby aborted. Don't be stubborn anymore. You can't avoid it after all. I started crying right then. It's not really about crying. 𝓀𝓪 is going to get divorced. It's a sad scene like 𝓀𝓪's situation. I thought he would stand with me. I thought he really meant it. Please get this child with me. The current situation is that 𝓀𝓪 asked the lawyer to convey the message, or get rid of the child. It seems like nothing really happened at all. The days continue to pass by. Or give birth to children. He filed for divorce. At the same time, the money should be recovered. 𝓀𝓪 no longer answers my calls anymore. Sometimes I send a message back. It's just a phrase that keeps coming up in my mind. Please calm down for now. I'm sitting alone at home.
Touching my stomach.
The child is now able to move around. I don't want to terminate him, but I also don't want to lose that money at all. I promised to give that money to 𝓀𝓪. If 𝓀𝓪 wants to go back, how should I behave in front of 𝓀𝓪? Some people say that I deserve to live like this. It seems like I'm being greedy. Still want to take money from my husband. Still want to share the company of my best friend's boyfriend. Maybe they are right, but I really want to ask one thing. They agreed to stay separate from each other. I have carried out these instructions seriously. How can it be me who ends up being at fault in the end? As of this afternoon, 𝓀𝓪 finally replied to my long message. He didn't try to comfort me at all. It didn't mention anything about children either. The tone was filled with undeniable panic and hesitation. He said that the money has already been taken away. Paid the annual rent to the tattoo shop. Now the store is completely empty. I simply can't bring myself to do it. He also said that 𝓀𝓪 mentioned that he wanted to find people from the underworld to investigate him. He doesn't even dare to open the store these days. I hid at a relative's house in the countryside. 𝓻𝓻, I really liked you once. But I'm just an ordinary person. Your husband is a wealthy and powerful boss. I'm just a craftsman at that level. You did everything you could to keep this money. I really need to confront him directly. But have you ever thought about it? In the end, it will only be me who is crushed beneath the weight of the impact. You should feel sorry for me, really. Have you dealt with the child already? We will never contact each other anymore from now on. Listen to that 3-minute-long voice message. I didn't cry. I just feel extremely cold all over my body. The screen of the mobile phone turned dark. The pale face of mine was reflected back in the mirror. It just rained outside the window. The wet, slippery asphalt surface, the mirror image of the gray, murky sky. It resembles exactly that desolate ruin in my heart at this moment. I walked towards the balcony. The cold wind penetrates into the collar of my shirt. The child in my belly just kicked me gently on the back. It was at that moment that I truly understood everything. Some rules are actually designed to deceive people from the beginning. He said that everyone should play their own games. It's a way to keep a backup option for oneself. It's not for you. Do you really think that you are equal to each other? But when the actual incident happens, it's only now that you realize it. He can easily flip over the chessboard, and you don't even have the right to cry out in. I thought I had mastered the freedom that comes with marriage, thinking that I have found a partner who truly resonates with my soul. They even believe that they can buy off any responsibility with money. But in the face of real benefits and risks, the one who would bring me wine in the snowy night, a man who would gently touch the area on my forehead, I run faster than anyone else. He behaved in the most cowardly manner possible. I torn to pieces the memories I once had. The final touch of true love. I lowered my head, looking at the slightly protruding abdomen, gently touched it with the hand. Sighing, I wondered what we should do. The moment of signing the divorce agreement, my husband pointed at my nose and scolded me. You're simply a hopeless Voldemort. With the hard-earned money of our entire family, go and fill that bottomless hole of your mother's family. His eyes were filled with hatred and resentment over being deceived. But they will never know about it at all. That one made him hate it to the point of despair. My brother, who has squandered all the money we saved together. He isn't my brother at all. That was the year when I was 19 years old. Bet on having a biological son with this child. My name is 𝔀𝓪𝓻𝓭𝓻𝓸𝓫𝓮, 37 years old this year. He is just an ordinary supermarket cashier. I don't have any particularly outstanding abilities. They are very gentle and reasonable in their ways of thinking. The only downside, it's like having a secret that has been hidden in the heart for 18 years. A debt that refuses to be paid, even in the light of day. Mistakes made due to youth and ignorance. I thought it was hidden deep enough. I can hold it for a long time. And time will continue to unfold over the years. After getting married, I dedicated myself to taking care of my family. Treat one's husband well. He only wants to spend the rest of his life in peace, with his daughter by his side. But there are some secrets. It's like the fine sand hidden inside shoes. Silent on ordinary days. Every step taken along the path. They quietly grind away, causing pain deep within the heart. My ex-husband Doe and I met during a blind date at the age of 30. I was a bit older at that time. The family is very eager for a wedding to happen soon. Anxious and unable to sleep throughout the night, Doe looked at him with a kind and honest expression. I have a stable job. Kind and considerate towards others. Never use flattery to deceive others. But everything is done in a thorough and reliable manner. I thought this would be the perfect place for me to settle down. After all my dreams. We have known each other for half a year already. We quickly obtained our marriage certificates. The second year after marriage, a daughter was born. Life isn't particularly prosperous. Living in a state of constant scarcity. But in the simplicity and trivialities, there lies hidden a little bit of warmth. I should be satisfied already. But that heavy stone in my heart. It never even touched the ground at all. That is my nominal younger brother, Zhaoji. Zhaoji is 18 years younger than me. I was 19 years old that year. Naive and ignorant. Unintended pregnancy. Don't dare tell anyone about this. I also don't know how to end this situation. As the month progresses, it gets gradually larger. It can't be hidden anymore. After learning about it, my parents, I was so angry that my whole body trembled with rage. But they still looked at me with tears streaming down my face all day long. After all, it's difficult to kill a living life. I feel even more reluctant to part with myself, who am still so young. Under the stigma of being pregnant without being married. A lifetime ruined by rumors and gossip. In desperation, under no other choice, Mom and Dad gritted their teeth and swallowed the bitter water. I will take on all the hardships and challenges for me. They lied to the public, claiming that they had children after they got old, silently leaving my child with me for care and support. In order to keep this lie alive, they deliberately obscured the date of Xiaoji's birth. The reported age is only slightly lower than the actual age. Whenever people ask, I always say that the child came late and is quite weak. It's rare for people to delve into the details of such things. Even relatives from my hometown regarded it as a blessing in their old age. Never had any doubts at all. And so my own son became my younger brother.
He grew up living with his parents from a young age.
Speak loudly, calling me sister. But only I know the truth. It's just a piece of flesh that fell off me. It's because I was too young to protect them back then. Children who are burdened with debts for their entire lives. Since I started understanding things and remembering events clearly, I live in constant caution and restraint. Before getting married, I secretly made up for it. After getting married, I can only rely on my sister to help my brother. With great care, fulfilling one's responsibilities as a mother. Starting from the beginning. I just buy a few new clothes for Xiaoji during festivals and holidays. Silently stuffed a few hundred yuan into my pocket as pocket money. At that time, Xiaoji was still very young. The expenses aren't too high. David saw it with his own eyes. I guess it's because I care about my siblings and family ties. Didn't say anything more. They even felt that I was someone who valued loyalty and affection. I also thought that Dawei would continue to tolerate such situations indefinitely. After all, he also used to be sincere and honest. Treat Xiaoji like a brother of one's own family. I remember the year when Xiaoji started middle school. I fainted during physical education class due to malnutrition. I knew that I had to get there as soon as I received the news. It turns out that Dawei is also there. It seems that he heard me say that my younger brother is not in good health. I took a half day off just for this. I visited several pharmacies to find the best calcium supplements and health products. I even paid the lunch fee for Xiaoji myself this year. On the way home that day, he was riding an electric bike, carrying me along with him. The wind scattered his voice somewhat. Dawei didn't say anything in return. I've used my own device for 4 years already. The old tablet was sent over there. I even went to the mobile phone store and bought the best protective film there. New protective cover has been installed. He handed the things to Xiaoji, pat the child on the shoulder and say, "Study hard. My brother-in-law isn't very capable at all. I can't give you too much. But this is enough for now. In the future, I hope to get into a good university. Don't forget that moment when we helped sister-in-law out of trouble." Watching Dawei's honest and kind smile, and the light in Xiaoji's eyes, my heart feels both warm and sour at the same time. I secretly swore. This secret must be kept confidential. Live a good life. I will repay Dawei for his unreserved kindness. But as Xiaoji grows up, things will change. The costs are increasing steadily. Choosing a school for junior high school students, high school extracurricular classes, art training camp. One by one, the costs kept coming along. It's impossible to stop like flowing water. I don't dare to stop. And definitely not to stop anymore. I owe her too much. I always try my best to give her the best possible experience. To make up for the 18 years of my absence. I started to become sensitive and timid. The salary was paid every month. I quietly transferred most of the money immediately. The remaining money can be taken back home to help support the family. Every time, Dawei realizes that the amount of money doesn't match the situation. Ask open questions. I can only come up with lame excuses. Either I lent it to a colleague as a last-minute fix. Either the mother is not feeling well and needs to buy medicine, resulting in expenses. He isn't a foolish person at all. With so many occurrences, one can naturally keep track of them in their mind. He never delves too deeply into things. But there was also a sense of annoyance and disappointment in their eyes. The fatigue becomes more and more intense day by day, especially as my daughter grows up little by little. Infant milk powder, early education, clothing, food, housing, and transportation. There is a constant need for money in the house. He watched as I kept sending money to my family in my hometown. My complexion gets worse with each passing day. Those promises that once belonged to a family, in the midst of constant concealment and suspicion, we will gradually wear them down until they are completely gone. The real break occurred when Xiaoji was in his senior year of high school. Xiaoji has loved painting since he was a child. In the third year of high school, I made up my mind to take the art exam. The high cost of training sessions is overwhelming for me. I can hardly breathe properly. Parents are old, low income. Basically, there is no ability to bear the cost at all. Watching the child with such hopeful eyes, I really couldn't bear to let his dreams be ruined at the last moment. After much thought, I used the emergency savings in my home for this purpose. Those 100,000 yuan were saved through careful and frugal spending. I have saved enough money to afford a new car after 3 years of preparation. It takes him a long time to commute to work. It's common to be stuck on the bus all year round, riding the tram, facing the wind and sun. I can't stop thinking about switching channels. It's more convenient for travel purposes. It can also serve to maintain the facade of the business. Doing business in a professional manner is more respectable. I know how important this money is to him, but I really can't afford to invest in Xiaoji's future anymore. I took the opportunity when Dawei was on a business trip. I have obtained a secondary card that is bound to the same bank card. Withdraw the money in batches, one by one. I quietly transferred the money to Xiaoji's training institution. I took a chance at it. I'm hoping to wait until the end of the year to get my year-end bonus. I'll quietly make up for the money lost. Without anyone knowing, I can keep both families safe. I never could have imagined. Dawei rushed through a crucial project, coming back early. We're in a hurry to use the vehicle to discuss cooperation with customers. When he went to the bank to check his balance, only then did I realize that all 100,000 yuan I had saved in my account was gone, without a single cent remaining. That night, the atmosphere at home is so oppressive that it feels suffocating. Dawei had red eyes. With a hoarse voice, he questioned me, asking over and over again about the whereabouts of the money. I can no longer hide it. I can only cry out in despair, kneeling to ask for his forgiveness. He kept repeating that Xiaoji's future was very important. Don't let this delay the child for a lifetime. He was so angry that his whole body trembled. Even the fingertips are tinged with a pale blue color. The emotions that have been stored for years finally burst out, shouting at me, "Xiaoyaya, do you really not consider our home as your own home at all? That's your brother. It's not your son. You do this because of that bottomless brother from your family. Empty oneself out. Emptying out our small homes. Even my daughter and I don't have any control over our own lives anymore. You are simply a hopeless Voldemort." The word sounds like a hot needle stabbing through the skin. It penetrates deep into the most secret and fragile place of my heart. I kept my mouth open. My throat feels aching and painful. Countless grievances and sorrows accumulate in my chest. How I wish I could tell him. He is not my brother. He is the child I gave birth to, even at the cost of my life. I'm not providing subsidies to my parents. I'm just doing what a mother is supposed to do. But the words get stuck in my mouth. I forced it down my throat again. I don't dare to say anything. I'm afraid he will find out about my past of being pregnant before I was married. They will definitely look down on me, feel that I am unclean and frivolous. I'm even more afraid that this secret, which has been hidden for 18 years, will be revealed in the future. Advice from others, whispers and rumors, In the end, it will also affect the innocent 𝓀𝓪𝓻. It will affect his future prospects. It even causes harm to our daughters, spreading rumors about someone all throughout their life. I can only clench my lips tightly together, bearing all his accusations and hatred, apologizing repeatedly and humbly. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I will not dare to do this again in the future. After that night, there is now a complete gap between us. A cold and heavy wall. 𝓀𝓬𝓰 started to investigate my whereabouts, manage every expense incurred at home. They even tried to prevent me from going back to my parents' home. I also became completely humble and timid. She stepped back step by step throughout this marriage, living with extreme caution, as if walking on thin ice, like a free nanny. I dare not express even a single complaint or criticism. I always thought that, as long as I can be patient enough, sufficiently obedient, just get through this somehow. Our days always return to the past, but I endured it for 1 year after another. The cracks have become deeply ingrained over time. It can't be restored anymore. The final straw that brought this marriage to an end, it was last month. 𝓀𝓪𝓻 successfully passed the art examination. I have received the required certificates from my desired university. Please call me immediately to share the good news. The voice is clear and lively. And also, when the vacation time comes, be sure to come and thank my brother-in-law properly. That day, 𝓀𝓬𝓰 was actually at home. Sis, from the phone, 𝓀𝓪𝓻 says things in a way that shows his closeness and dependence towards you. It sounded extremely harsh in his ears. He thought about these 18 years that have passed. I give without any limits, with obsessive dedication. All those feelings of resentment, dissatisfaction, and anger. A complete explosion in just an instant. He snatched my phone from me in one hand. I yelled at the other end of the phone twice. Then, he violently threw the phone onto the ground. The sound of the screen breaking could be heard everywhere. The quiet room was extremely noisy. He looked up at me. There was only utter exhaustion and determination in his eyes. Every word is cold and indifferent. I've had enough. I don't want to give you that anymore. My useless brother spent his whole life working as a laborer. It's simply impossible to continue living like this. I think we should get a divorce. There are countless mobile phone fragments all over the floor. It's like my broken marriage. It's like the embarrassment I hid for 18 years. At that moment, I didn't cry at all. There wasn't any commotion either. The heavy chains that have been stored in the heart for years. Suddenly, it became relaxed for a moment. Only endless liberation remains. I squatted down, slowly collecting the fragments together. His voice was so calm that even he himself was surprised when he left. The day of signing the divorce agreement, the air feels suffocating and oppressive. 𝓀𝓬𝓰 was still filled with resentment and anger. The hand holding the pen carries a sense of hostility, listing my sins one by one. It said that I am selfish, ignoring the small family matters. Insanity. It ruined his life completely. It destroyed this family. I listened quietly, watching his face twist slightly in anger. Suddenly, it seems that all the arguments are meaningless. Both the grievances and the feelings of injustice are meaningless now. 18 years of patience, misunderstandings, and suffering. It has already smoothed out all my emotions. I slowly took out something from my bag. An old photo that has turned yellow and become worn over time. That was not long after 𝓀𝓪𝓻 was born. I secretly took a 1-inch photo of him holding him in my arms. Pixel blur. The edges and corners have already worn out and need to be folded up. On the back of the photo was my trembling image from that time. The actual date of his birth, as recorded here. I gently brought the photo towards him. His tone was calm, but it made me stop hiding all my masks. 𝓀𝓬𝓰, you always misunderstand things. I never lied down at all. 𝓀𝓪𝓻 isn't my brother either. He was the man I was with when I was 19 years old. Half-Life's biological son. I was young and naive back then. My parents are willing to do anything to preserve my reputation. I'm afraid that I might be slandered by others. They falsely claim that their son was born during their old age. Over the years, I've been desperately trying to make ends meet. Contribute silently. It isn't foolish piety at all. It's not like falling to the ground either. I'm just trying to make up for the 18 years I failed to spend with my child. 𝓻𝓪𝓻 froze completely in an instant. The anger on his face didn't disappear at all. It dissipated just as I expected it to. It feels more like having a spoonful of hot oil poured over us instead. It burned more intensely. It's even more distorted than that. He stared intently at that photo. My hands tremble like sieve-like parts. She suddenly threw the photo onto the table. The person with great strength even made the table shake slightly. 𝓻𝓪𝓻, what do you think of me? His voice is no longer one of questioning. It's actually a hysterical roar. The veins on my neck are bulging out. The eyes were covered in red blood vessels. You lied to me for a whole 7 years. You said that he was your brother, and I was supposed to tolerate his behavior. I treated him like a real nephew of mine. But what happened in the end? That is your son. It's a child born from an affair without any legal marriage between the parents. This sound of wild animals, like a loud slap on the face. It hit me right in the face. I looked very pale. I subconsciously wanted to protect that photo. Tears streamed down my face. 𝓻𝓪𝓻, I didn't mean to lie to you. I was just worried about you. I'm not afraid of you at all. He interrupted me rudely. The chest heaved violently. His eyes were filled with humiliation and hatred after being deceived by others. You're just afraid that I won't want you anymore. You're simply taking advantage of my sympathy. We've spent our entire family's hard-earned money to support your illegitimate child. 𝓻𝓻𝓻, your plans are really sophisticated. You're too scary. He pointed at my nose. My fingers almost touched the tip of my nose. Spit and saliva flying everywhere. I said, how can you be so shameless and keep helping your family with money? It turns out that the root lies here. It isn't Voldemort. This is a scam. Are you trying to play games with my daughter just like that? Will we still need to separate the properties of me and our daughter in the future? 𝓻𝓻𝓻, your heart is too cruel at that moment. The last shred of hope in my heart also vanished. I thought that by revealing the truth, I could earn some sympathy. Even if it's just a little bit of understanding. But the reality is, in the eyes of this man, my motives became something like a secret plan. My motherly love has turned into calculated scheming. He picked up the divorce agreement on the table. The tip of the pen almost cut through the paper with its force. After a few strokes, the names were finally written down. Then they shoved that agreement right in my face. The sharp paper scrapes across my cheek, causing a painful stinging sensation. It's almost time to leave. Such a woman who spits lies everywhere. I don't want to stay here for even 1 minute more. After shouting, he turned around and rushed out of the door. The loud sound of the door closing. It was so loud that even the wall plaster was starting to fall off. The room was filled with a dead silence. Only I remain, holding it tightly in my hands. That crumpled photo. My sobs, suppressed to the extreme. When I walked out of the Civil Affairs Bureau, the sunlight at noon was quite harsh on the eyes. Fall on the face. It's so warm that it makes you want to cry. I didn't look back. I didn't shed a single tear either. This period consumed 7 years of my marriage. 18 years of enduring hardship. It's finally over completely. I lost my peaceful little home. Having lost the person who was with me for many years. But finally, the burden that weighed on us was lifted away. A heavy burden that has weighed on my heart for 18 years. Finally, there's no need to act secretly anymore. I love my children with great care and attention. From now on, I no longer need to hide or conceal anything. No need to bear the stigma anymore. I can act with dignity and integrity. Go and take care of my son in a proper and lawful manner, to compensate for the lack of maternal love in his life.